I always love reading books which are so old they still have a library checkout card. Looks like I'm the first person to check out this book in 48 years.
Argo Funk Book Review, Argo Funk Book Review.
Serenity Parish is absurdly young and surprisingly attractive for a doctor. She gets a new patient named Lola Harkness. Lola is pregnant, and you know this is an old book when a pregnant lady starts smoking in the doctor's office. Lola worries her baby will interfere with her social life. Serenity gets a little upset because she wishes she could have a baby. She and her husband Maury had to give up those dreams when they moved to the city to focus on their careers. Maury is writing a novel. He didn't need to move to the city for that. He could write a novel from anywhere. For Maury's sake, I hope his novel is a lot better than this one. He indicates he has some insecurity issues because his wife, the doctor, is far more successful than he is. They live with Serenity's friendly uncle, John MacDonald. He's on the board of directors at Francis Starr Hospital. He convinces them to hire Serenity as the superintendent, without so much as an interview or a background check. Gee, I wish I had a friendly uncle who gave me everything I could need on a silver platter. Meanwhile, Maury reconnects with a childhood friend named Ardella Patterson. Dell is also a writer, although she enjoys the scandalous modern novels. You know, the romantic, emotional ones that don't leave anything to the reader's imagination. As you can probably guess, it's a bad idea for Dr. Serenity to let her lonely, unfulfilled husband spend a lot of time drinking with a woman who only cares about passion and romance. Soon enough, Dell confesses she fell in love with him when they were growing up. She convinces him to fulfill her teenage dreams by kissing her. Soon enough, they regularly kiss and snuggle each other. I could be wrong, but I think we're supposed to believe the affair doesn't go any farther than kissing. They both act as if a married man kissing a friend is totally normal, not worth making a big deal over. Maury drives Dell to the liquor store one day when their car is hit from behind. He takes Dell to his wife's hospital. Dr. Serenity worries this incident will cause a lot of nasty gossip, but it doesn't. Again, you can tell this is an old book when nobody at the hospital cares about drunk driving. Francis Starr Hospital is funded by an elderly woman named Miss Starr. She's admitted as a patient with a disease that makes it hard for her to talk. Dr. Serenity is shocked to see Miss Starr is 6 feet tall with dyed hair. She recommends an experimental vitamin E treatment, but Dr. Ladding refuses to try it. Maury's father dies of a heart attack. He goes back home to prepare the funeral and the estate. He takes Adele with him. When Serenity finds out, she's pretty furious. He didn't have enough time to tell his own wife that his dad died, but he had enough time to visit Dell and help her pack. Not to mention, it looks really bad he returns to his hometown with Dell for a week, when his wife only stays for part of one day. These are some legitimate complaints. I wish she actually talked to her husband about them at some point. It gets worse. Dell and Maury have their usual drinking and kissing party. Well, her parents are gone at church, but they return home from church early, so she has to hide the evidence by drinking all the alcohol herself. It turns out she can't handle drinking 2 pints of alcohol all at once. When she sobers up the next day, her dad forcibly escorts her out. When Dr. Ladding's not around, Starr talks with Serenity. They discuss the vitamin E treatment. Starr decides to formally request a consultation. Dr. Ladding is furious when he finds out, and unlike Serenity, he actually talks to people about his problems. How dare the superintendent of a hospital discuss treatment options with a patient without telling him first? He wants to have Dr. Serenity fired as soon as possible. He forces the board of directors to meet. With a 3-2 vote, they agree Serenity must resign. This is a blessing in disguise. Maury tells Adele what happened. She realizes she has to stop interfering with his marriage. She leaves town forever. It's the last chapter, so we've got to give everybody a happy ending. Dr. Serenity gets her job back when Star threatens to cut off hospital funding. The same day, Maury meets Uncle John's fishing buddy, who just happens to be a famous publisher. He gives Maury an editing job. So now they both have great jobs. Maybe now they can have children. The end. Postbook follow-up. There's a reason nobody has checked out this book in almost 50 years. It's fairly boring and slow-paced. There's no good reason for it to be 278 pages. There are several chapters which are so inconsequential, readers would not notice if they were removed from the book. There's one where Maury's unfriendly father visits, and one where Maury goes back home to get a car. The pregnant woman from chapter 1 gets a follow-up chapter 170 pages later. It wasn't a bad chapter, but it doesn't affect the overall narrative, and there is such a huge gap between her two appearances that I would either move it up or cut the scene entirely. It annoys me that Dr. Serenity and Maury never talk about their relationship issues. That would have avoided so much drama. I don't like how Maury gets a happy ending after cheating on his wife repeatedly. He should at least apologize for his bad behavior. Maury's kind of a useless bum. All he does is sit around all day pretending to write stuff. Dr. Serenity deserves better. She claims that she loves him, but we never see any proof of that, beyond how intensely she agonizes over him. Overall, I don't recommend the book. The other two people who have reviewed this book gave it a 3 out of 5 and a 4 out of 5. I'm gonna be the guy who ruins the book score. I give Harlequin number 13, His Wife the Doctor, a 1 out of 10.